what are the do's and don'ts for watching the big game?
And if you're the host of a party, which I recommend that you not be, but if you insist, please don't have people looking at a little tiny TV screen where they have to be close together. Get a projector. Right? The best advice, stay at home in your immediate bubble to celebrate the Super Bowl.
Here now to talk more about the COVID vaccines is Dr. Frita Fisher, founder and president of Midtown Atlanta Nephrology. Welcome, Dr. Fisher.
Thank you.
So we just heard the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is 66% effective. That doesn't sound very high, is it?
Well, you have to really break it down. So yes, according to the Johnson & Johnson trial, it's 66% effective globally, all over the world. But if you look at the United States, at the US arm of the study, it actually has a 72% efficacy. And really, the most important thing, beyond it preventing that 66% and 72% of moderate to severe disease, the real important number is the 85%, because the Johnson & Johnson vaccine prevents 85% of people from being hospitalized with severe illness, and it keeps 85% of people from dying. 85% of deaths are prevented with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
How does the Johnson & Johnson vaccine compare to the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines?
Well, we know that we got a little spoiled because the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines have 94 to 95% efficacy, which is huge. And so when you compare 95% to 66% or maybe 72% in the US, it doesn't seem to compare so well. But the question is it fair to compare? Because the Johnson & Johnson trials occurred after all of these variants, the UK variant, the South African variant, the Brazilian variant. When the Moderna and Pfizer trials took place, we didn't have those variants. So the real question is it fair to compare? Had we done the Johnson & Johnson trials back before there were variants, would it have more efficacy? We'll never know. The important thing is for people to take the vaccination that is available to them, because 72%, 66%, 85% is better than 0% protection against this virus.
And you brought up a good point. The Johnson & Johnson vaccine was developed after all of these variants. So does that mean that it's better to fight against or protect against those variants?
We don't know, because we only have evidence of Moderna and Pfizer pre-variants. So even though we've done some in vitro studies, meaning studies kind of in test tubes, not in humans, we do believe that Moderna and Pfizer will give us a pretty robust protection with against the UK variant, and perhaps some protection with the South African variants. We're not sure, but it's hard to really say for sure. We can say that with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, since there were trials in South Africa and we saw that there was some protection, not much, but some protection, that's the only one where the evidence is right there. Everything else is a little bit of speculation and educated guessing at this point.
And also, Dr. Fisher, with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, this one is a one-dose vaccine. Will that help with distribution, getting people vaccinated quicker?
Yes, absolutely. I'm glad you brought that point up. With it being one dose, yes, you can get it out of the way. And for people who have a hard time getting to places to get vaccinated, they get their one dose. We don't have to worry about them having the trouble, the transportation of getting there again. It's done. Also, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine can be stored very easily at like refrigerator temperatures, 36 degrees, and it can be stored for months. That means it can be easy to distribute and less expensive to try to maintain. So that's a definite plus as far as getting to underserved areas.
With these options that we have and possibly more options in the coming months, how should people decide which vaccine is best to take for them?
I'll tell you how. You really, number one, everyone should consult with their physicians. But at this point, with all the shortages and with the pandemic being such a huge problem, so many deaths, you take the vaccination that has been approved and that is available to you. So right now we have choices between Moderna and Pfizer. You take the one that comes to you. I took the Pfizer. I've had both doses of mine. Had I been offered the Moderna, I would have taken that one. For the Johnson & Johnson, you did bring up a really good point that, yes, it looks like it's less effective according to the tests. However, if that is the only one available to you, you take it.
And really quickly, we know Sunday is the big game. We hear, Bertie told me that you are a Tampa Bay fan. How should people be celebrating? What are the do's and don'ts for watching the big game?
Yes, I am from Tampa Bay. My parents, my brother, everyone, they're still in Tampa Bay. So, yes, I'm a fan. Well, you know the do's and don'ts. We recommend that you celebrate with your immediate family, with your quarantine bubble, and that you do not go and expose yourself to other people. That's the safest way. However, if you are a person who absolutely insists on going to a watch party, make sure that it's a small party and that you are seated outside. I know it's a little chilly, very chilly, many places, but you should be seated outside at least 6 feet apart, wearing masks. And if you're the host of a party, which I recommend that you not be, but if you insist, please don't have people looking at a little tiny TV screen where they have to be close together. Get a projector and try to avoid, yes, alcohol, because the more alcohol you have, the less likely you are to socially distance, to wear masks. People take a little social and touchy feely. So minimize the alcohol if you are having a watch party. The best advice, stay at home in your immediate bubble to celebrate the Super Bowl.
All right, minimize the alcohol. That might be tough for a lot of people. Dr. Frita Fisher, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after the break. Stay with us.